TV 410. I'm your host, Tez Dean. People, I got a special one today, y'all. Now, when I say it's real special to me and my family and my teammates, I'm talking about I'm humbly right now. I'm so humble right now that for you to take this time, Coach, to even have. What it do, good people? Coming to you live from Tez TV 410. I'm your host, Tez Dean. People, I got a special one today, y'all. Now, when I say it's real special to me and my family and my teammates, I'm talking about I'm humbly right now. I'm so humble right now that for you to take this time, Coach, to even do this interview with me right now. Coach, speak your name.
My name is Coach Lynn Badham.
Yes. And again, thank you, Coach, for joining the show.
It's my pleasure, Ted.
Man, it mean a lot to you. Not only me, my teammates and the city. People talk highly about you, your character, especially your character. How you been feeling?
I've been great. Getting older, but I've been great. Things are good here, and things are good up there in Maryland because of my sons are still up there. And so I'm just thankful. I really am, and I owe it all to God.
That's good. Now, Coach, let's how the phone up? How the family? The wife?
The wife is fine too. She's still working a little part-time job with the seniors. She helps out with the seniors at the senior center, and she's the director there for that particular one in Murfreesboro, North Carolina, down here in the country.
Yeah. Now, Coach, let's get straight to it. Where you from?
I was born and raised in Edenton, North Carolina, and I finished high school there at D.F. Walker High School in '66.
Okay. Did you play?
And then I went.
Hold up before you went in, because we got to talk about. I want to talk about your football, and you playing baseball too in high school. So let's not leave that out.
Well, I won't leave that out, but baseball is something we did with a rec league because our principal was in control of everything that we did at our high school. And when I came through, we didn't have but two sports at D.F. Walker High School in '66. Yeah, D.F. Walker High School, we didn't have but two sports, basketball and football. I played both of them, and I was a pretty good athlete, I would say. And I enjoyed that, and that's how I got into football and baseball. But like I said, we didn't have it in high school, and we didn't even have track. Everybody wanted us to try to get it, but the principal just wouldn't let us have but the two sports.
Okay, just two sports, Coach? Well, that was a while ago.
It was a while ago, but before we got into high school, they had a baseball team. I don't ever remember them having a track and field, but they had baseball and they had basketball and of course football. Okay.
Now, talk to the people. You attended Elizabeth City, right?
Yes, Elizabeth City State University. When I went there, it was Elizabeth City State College. And then the name changed on our senior year to the university. And I did 4 years there. And I was in music at first because when I was told in high school that I could not play any more football, so the doctor said, and of course my mom said it, I just went on and got it. I was in the band. So I could play. Actually, I could play every instrument except for a flute and a clarinet when I graduated. So I said I wanted to be a music major, be a band director. And when I went to Elizabeth City, they gave me a scholarship in music. Okay. And I tried it out, but it was good. And to this day, I'm still sorry that I got out of it. I got out of it because my heart said I could play football again. And I went out there for the team in the spring of my freshman year, and I made the football team, and I was projected to be a starter. But of course, when we got back from the summer, I tore my knee up again in football, and I needed an operation. So I didn't get an operation. So I went back into music, but I didn't major anymore in music. I majored in industrial arts. Okay. So when I got hired in Baltimore, that's what I was hired for, to be an industrial arts teacher.
Now, people, this is going to start getting interesting. Because now we want the transition from North Carolina to Baltimore. Let's tell the people how you ended up this way.
Well, I got married my senior year in college, and my wife and I both were looking for a job. So we found out that people were coming to recruit the prospective teachers, and Baltimore City was one of them.
Okay.
And I told my wife, I got to go to this one. We got to go.
Yeah.
She said, why you want to go to Baltimore? I said, because that's the home of the Baltimore Colts, and that was my favorite football team. And if I could be near them, that's all I wanted to do. And she had relatives up there. She had a aunt, uncle, and cousin that she used to come up, and actually she used to go up there during the summertime and babysit for her cousin. So we went up there, and I found a home because I loved every minute of it. And I started playing flag football because I could start back running and stuff. And I played softball, and I played a little basketball, maybe 1 year of basketball, but that was not the key sport that I wanted to be involved in. And so I really met a lot of people. And after I taught school at Clifton Park Junior High School Annex, which was the headquarters for the school system at the time. And I was in the seventh grade teaching area there. And I continued to do well. After that first year, they said they wanted to transfer me over to Woodbourne Junior High School.
Okay. And hold on, excuse me. Woodbourne, y'all, is now Chicken Pen, right?
Used to be Chicken Pen. It was Woodbourne first, and then it was Chicken Pen Middle School for the longest of times, at least until I left. It was Chicken Pen, and I don't know what it is now because I haven't been back in a while. But yes, that's where I started out. That's how I met you.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Now, people. Now in middle school, this was my wood shop. This was my wood shop teacher. And let me say this on air, Coach. Let me say this on air because I've been holding this in since that class. Now I had the fastest. I don't understand how I had the fastest wood car in the wintertime. Had my ego was high. I just knew I was gonna get to the springtime and race your spring cars and go into the what it was the citywide race after that.
Citywide races, yeah.
I get you tell me, all right, come on down for the spring. They was finished with their cars, so now it's time for me to race their cars and see who won't go. The first race I had, I got smoked and my car broke. And I looked at you like, man, you just set me up. Well, you gave them different wood or something because I was smoking them. I was smoking them in the wintertime. I don't understand how this happened. Well, that was just my little thing. But yeah, people, that's how we met.
Well, what happened was that you were in the first part of the class during the fall.
Right.
And then when you came back during the spring, they had started sending us different wood. It was called balsa, and it's very light. And so those cars were much lighter than yours.
See?
And that's how you got beat. But you weren't there to get the balsa wood cars.
No. I wasn't. No,
and yes, it wasn't. I know it didn't seem fair, but it was a fair race. But only the thing that was different is that your car outweighed their car about 5. It wasn't even pounds; it was ounces. But because of that, and because of the air that was compressed and it pushes the cars, it didn't push them as fast as the other one.
Man, that was. I
didn't think you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. I will never forget that. I really thought, in middle school, when you get out of school, when you get out of class or anything, you want it. So I'm like, oh, they going here in the springtime. I'm in there. I'm going, but.
Yeah, you were the fastest during the fall.
Man, I'm glad I was in your class because that made a big difference. Come years later when it was time for me to transfer. But let's keep it moving though. Let's keep it moving. Now you're working over at Chicken Pen. Now, how you get into coaching? How you get there in coaching in Baltimore?
Okay, when I first got up there, they used to send out information at the end of every year, and they're looking for coaches. They always had, I'm looking for coaches. For 6 years, I'm gonna say 5 years. I applied the way they say you have to apply. And that's fill out the application, send it in. Never heard from anybody in 5 years. And then, while I was up there, like I told you, I met a lot of people and I got on a softball team because I always wanted to be proactive in athletics.
Okay.
So I got on the softball team and I played flag football. And when I got on this particular softball team, it was called the Ports Athletic Club. I found out about them through the flag football. And I said, well, I'm here. I met Coach Wade. I met some of the other guys that were there. Eugene Crawley, they used to call him Yoke.
Okay.
They all pushed me to come and play. And I did. And then when we got on the softball thing, Coach Wade was the first baseman. I was a shortstop. And we had a great time. And he used to talk to me about his coaching. And I was saying, I'll be glad when I can get into something like that.
Yeah.
And that same year, one of the guys that I was playing softball with before I started playing with Coach Wade, his name was Paul Schubert. He said, I think they got an opening at Emerson where I coach. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, check and ask him. And he asked, do you know Coach Pompey? I said, no, I don't. He said, well, I'm going to talk to him. And sure enough, I got on the coaching staff at Emerson.
Wow.
And I was the assistant JV coach. So that's where my beginning started. And I coached there 4 years. And we were still playing softball, Coach Wade and all of us. And he had an opening. And the main reason why I left was because Chinquapin is closer to Dunbar than it was to Emerson.
Right.
And so I got tired of like getting caught up in traffic and all. So anyway, I went and I transferred over to Dunbar, not teaching, just coaching.
Right.
Now, I never left the middle school teaching because I just love middle school so much. I never wanted to leave. So when I found out that I could coach and not be in the school, that was fine for me. Okay. And so I went over there to Coach Wade, and I got the job in football also. And then that was in 80 when I went over there. And then all of a sudden he was talking to me about coaching basketball. I said, Coach, I don't coach basketball. I did a little bit in the intramural when I was in college, but I don't know nothing about coaching to be able to coach over at Dunbar. Yeah. He said, well, I can help you. I'll teach you. You just come on. I need you because I might be losing somebody. So when I went over there in football, he kept talking to me about the basketball, and I tried to talk him out of it. And he said, no, you it. I want you with me.
Yeah.
And so I stayed with it, and that's been a blessing of my life because I learned so much. And I'm not just talking basketball and football. I'm talking about life from Coach Wade.
Man,
and it was just a blessing. And believe it or not, I used to cut his son's hair. And when I went there for the first practice, I wasn't even going to coach. And I was telling him that I want to coach. And he said, no, man, you got to stay here with me. And I did. And like I said, it's been just a blessing. And I thank him for everything that he's ever done for me.
Man, that's love. Now, Coach, let me ask you something. At that time down at Dunbar, because I got a picture. I have a picture with you and Coach Wade, y'all on the bench, and Coach Herman and Reed. He may be checking in. I think he may be checking in who y'all was talking. However, I got that picture. Now, at that time, y'all won the national championship. Y'all won the national championships at this time.
Yeah. We won the national 82, 83, 83, 84, and 85.
How was that environment, though? How was the love in the city at the time?
Well, to me, the love in the city was good. Mm-hmm. To me, now I'm talking about. I'm a guy from North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I was looking to be much worse than that. I thought the love in the city was good, especially in the community of Dunbar. Mm-hmm. Everybody reached out and did what they could for us. We were reaching out, doing some things for them, but it was just a good situation. And they're friendly. The administration was good for us. So I was happy just to be there.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, when it was time to leave, I mean, hold on, before you even get up out of there, because there's a lot of your old players. My uncle was one of them, and he gonna listen to this story. And if I don't say to tell you thank you, thank you, Kevin McMillan. Yeah, he says thank you. He look at you like a father figure, and he still remembers some of those practice. I guess the game when he got burnt, when he got burnt, he still talk about that to this day. Efren, it's like man, the love is crazy. The love is something. Now, when it was time to leave, was it hard for you? When another job came up, how was that?
I didn't want to leave. Mm-hmm. Coach Wade, and I had found out after he talked to me, he wanted to go to the University of Maryland, mm-hmm. which was a great thing. We thought, especially at that time. And when he was going to leave, so I'm saying, well, who's going to be the next coach?
Right.
And the principal asked me, was I interested? And I told him yes. And I just didn't understand one of the things he asked me. He said, are you interested in coaching basketball or football or both? I said, I'm just like I'm doing right now. I'm interested in doing both. Mm-hmm. And he called me in for the interview and he told me one day, he said, look, I'm not going to hire you as the basketball coach, but I'm going to hire you as the football coach. Mm-hmm. So I asked him, I said, well, what's the problem? You're going to do me as the head football coach, but you won't let me do basketball. And football is more responsibility than basketball. Yeah. And he said, no, we got somebody else in mind who can be what Coach Wade was, the athletic director and basketball coach and whatever. So I said, okay. And so and that was Coach Pompey, and Coach Pompey came over and we talked, and he asked me would I stay, and I told him I would at least stay a year. And he said, that's good. And I stayed there for 1 year. And I had an opportunity to go to Forest Park to coach basketball.
Okay.
And work with the football coach, Obi Bonds.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I did. And I went there, and like I said, it was rough. It was tough because I wanted to stay at Dunbar. But I thought this would be a golden opportunity for me to get some coaching in as a head coach. And that's what I did.
And which, in hindsight, that was a good move. That was a good move. How was it coaching with Coach Bonds?
It was great. It was great because I knew him, and I knew of his son and his family, because the same guy that helped me get the job at Emerson was Paul Schufer. Him and Obi was very, very close.
Okay.
And Obi knew me, knew of me, and it was just a great working relationship that we had.
Now let me ask you this: what office y'all ran? What office did y'all run over there? Offense and defense in football did y'all run? If you remember.
Basically the same thing that we did at Dunbar.
Okay.
We ran the 4-4. We ran a little 5 or 6-2, I should say. And so he did a lot of that. And all I was doing over there with Coach Bonds was working with the defensive back.
Okay. And
working with some of the time the linemen also, but mostly was defense.
Y'all had a couple teams over there. Y'all had a couple teams football. Y'all had a couple because y'all had some running backs. Y'all had they had Bonds in the backfield, and there was another guy they had in the backfield that y'all had over there at the time. Well,
yes, I remember a lot of names,
right?
But I do remember the certain names that I did call out. I remember them well,
right?
And that's because of Obi was his son. But I thought the defense that we ran was good, and we had a great chance to make the playoffs and to play for the championship. But one of our kids got injured, and that kind of threw a wrench into that.
Okay. Now, after Forest Park, now did you go to Northwestern after Forest Park?
Yes.
All right, because now people.
To be exact, no. After the Forest Park, I went to during that football season. I went to school for to just further my education and to try to get into special ed.
Okay. Because
they were talking about laying off industrial art teachers, and so I was trying to get some more credit there. So I didn't coach that year, but right after that, the football season, I went to Carver.
Okay.
So from Carver, that's when I went over to.
How long was you at Carver? How long?
I guess about 3 years, I'm gonna say.
All right. Now at this time, you learning a lot. You learning a lot from.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot
from a lot of coaches. So by the time you got to Northwestern, I know your confidence was stronger now. I'm talking about far as coaching wise. So and this was your coach of the year. You got coach of the year at Northwestern.
Yeah. Yes, I did. They hadn't won, but maybe 2 games in 3 to 4 years. And I went over there, and out of the 9 games, we won 7. And we were up to be in the playoffs, which we did. We played the first game. We had to play one of the better teams, of course. But yes, we did very well that year, and the next 2 years we did very, very well each year. But I was fortunate enough to be named the coach of the year for football, and it was the same thing in basketball when I was at Forest Park. It was the same way. They hadn't won consistently for the last 3 to 4 years, and I got the coach of the year in basketball when I was at Forest Park.
man. Now, where do McDonald fall in at? I don't want to get you ahead of myself, but I know you. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know you. I don't know if did you help out, because I know your son went to McDonald's too, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
He went to McDonald, but I was working at McDonald under Paul Smith, but that was during the summer. It was like a summer job. I ran the wood shop camp at McDonald.
Okay.
That's when I started, and I think it was 80, right around 80. And I stayed there until I left. I was at McDonald every year, some kind of way, was working with the kids, working at the summer camp. And then I started working with their athletic program.
Okay. Now, after Forest Park, and McDonald was there, where did you go after Forest Park?
After Forest Park, I believe I went to Carver first. just to help out. And then I went to Northwestern.
Okay.
But I might have it backwards because I'm telling you, I don't really remember the years and stuff. But
hey, Coach, but I just want to make sure everybody get what you done. Yeah. That's it. We don't gotta be precise. Yeah. We know you don't tell stories. We fine with that.
It was Northwestern first, and then I went to Carver. From Carver, I left there because they offered me a permanent job at McDonough.
Okay.
And coaching, okay. And it was not a head job. It was a JV job at McDonough.
How was that experience out there as far as the coaching experience, the JV? How was that?
Oh, it was different because I was coaching kids, predominantly white kids. And from where I learned about basketball, being quick, fast, and doing things in a hurry at times, the foot speed there was the difference.
Right.
I didn't know how to get them to run fast or try to run faster, but I just started working with them, and we started doing more of a detail thing in basketball, where we were taking our time and moving the ball more. And so it worked out because we had some kids who were very eager to play and win.
Okay. Now, what I told you, said you went to Madonna and you was working with Coach Smith. You was working with Coach Paul Smith. Now,
yeah, but I got the job at McDonald, not the coaching job. I got the summer camp job,
right? And
that was under Paul Smith. He was the director.
Okay.
And then I was working every summer. I worked every summer at McDonough from 80 to, I think it was 04, 05.
Oh, yeah, you were there.
I worked there. Yeah, I was there for a while. Every year, because that was my summer employment. But I didn't coach basketball for Paul Smith. Paul had gone.
He was already at Dunbar this time, wasn't he?
Right. I was there when he was at Dunbar.
Okay. Now, that's funny because he was the Dunbar coach before you came in. Now, when that job came up, did y'all have any conversations when the job came up, or the job came up and you put your application in?
No, I didn't even put the application in. How I found out was, through word of mouth.
Okay.
And here's the funny thing. When I left McDonough, because again, remember I was the head JV coach, I was offered the Douglas job. Paul Smith was still there at Dunbar.
Okay.
So when he left, some of the alumni came to me and asked me, would I come back to Dunbar and coach?
Okay.
And be the head coach? And that's when I told him yes.
He jumped.
So I didn't stay at Far Spot for 1 year because my heart was still at Dunbar. I didn't stay for 1 year at Douglas. And when they offered the job, and some of them talked to me, we want you to do this, we want you to be there. That's when I left, and I did. And I brought my running buddy, my running pal with me, and that was Smiley.
Yeah.
Eric Lee. Yep. He was my assistant at Douglas, and we went there together.
Man, shout out to Eric Smiley, man. Now, all right, transferring. Now you coming into Dunbar. Now you got to put your system in. What was you, if you can remember, what was you kind of thinking coming into that year? What was you thinking as far as the team and who was you gonna have coming in? Like, I remember a conversation we had. I remember a conversation me, you, and Jamal. I don't know if Fess was there, but I know it was me and Jamal, right?
Yeah, Fess was there. Fess was there before you got there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the meeting. We had a meeting. No, so Fess probably wasn't at this meeting. However, it was like I call that year. I say that was like the bad news bears. It was some positive in there, but that year it was a year, right? It was a year.
You must be talking about the year before I got there.
No,
because we weren't like the bad news.
No, this is what I'm saying. No, this is what I'm saying. See, people ain't gonna know it, and I ain't gonna throw out business out there. People ain't gonna know it. I'm talking about far as see being the team. My 10th grade year and my 11th grade year, it was night and day. Right. You have a new coach coming in. You have players that was already there underneath the old coach. We had some players. We had about 4 or 5 players that wanted Coach Smitty. Shout out Coach Smitty from Southern. Then you had your new players, which Jamal, myself. Fess
was still there. Your first year, Fess was still there.
Fess was still there, but Fess, he ain't really care who coached. Fess was on his own. However, just at the beginning of it, it was a little turmoil. And you got the shit together.
Right.
You got the shit together. But talk to a coach about just a little bit about a coach if they're going into a situation, what to look for, and what kind of how can they maneuver without getting everybody upset. Ooh. And that's hard because somebody gonna be upset. I don't care. Somebody will be upset. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you're right. It was a little difficult because everybody at Dunbar at that time, they thought they were the best thing since sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that there was one coach, one leader, one person who's in charge. And that's what I did mostly. I brought everybody together. We had a meeting and we talked about that. And I talked about, you're going to do what I'm telling you to do and what I asked you to do,
mm-hmm.
or then you won't be here.
Mm-hmm.
And you all bought in to that because I had, like I said, Jamal was coming from Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
You were coming from Mervo. Fester was already there. Some of the other kids were from the Dunbar area. But they all, and all of you all, most importantly, all of you all wanted to win.
Right.
And the only way we were going to win is that we play together as a team.
Right. Right.
And that's what I started working on. And that's what we started doing. We started gelling together and everybody started respecting and depending on each other to do their role. Everybody had a role.
Yes,
you all did the things that you were supposed to do. And that's how we became very good. And I know you remember this when we went to the at the beach.
Slam up to the beach.
Tournament. Yeah, slam dunk to the beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's when we really gelled together because we beat the number one team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And then we beat the number 3 team in the country from Ohio.
Yeah, St. Edwards.
Number 1 team was the Meekheads.
Yeah, with Tyson Chandler, Tayshaun Prince.
Tyson Chandler, right. Tayshaun Prince, all of them. And we beat those guys. But it was all because we pulled together. We believed in each other. You believed in what I was asking you to do. And your will and desire to win was so great.
Man, that was a special year. Hold up, before I go though, I gotta tell you this because the host of our team that year, Jamal Brown, right? He told me he listening to us right now, but told me to tell you he like to say thank you. He love you for saving his life, and and Calvin said he love you, Coach. But yeah, that was a special time in my life and those because we ended up losing the city. We ended up losing in that championship. Al Harrington.
To Douglas.
Yeah.
To Douglas.
No, I'm talking about I'm still at the Slam Up to the Beach. We ended up losing to.
Oh yeah, we lost to St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's. Now, Now coming back into the city that year, like we played Douglas too, and we spanked Douglas by 20 points. Right, I ain't even gonna go into all that. We spanked about 20 points, but we going into the city championship game. And we don't have Fest 10 lives. I tell Fest now. To this day, I tell Fest, you owe me that. You owe me a championship. You owe me a city championship. I tell him this to this. I love bro. Bro, no, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, and he asks about you too, Coach. So I'm gonna give you off air. I'm gonna send you his number.
Okay, then. Appreciate that.
Now, going into what would you think of going into that game? We don't have our leading score. What was your? I'm kind of thinking like, as far as the combinations. I know it was a long time ago, Coach, but I know you felt like, man, you kind of tying my hand behind my back right now in a city championship game. Can you kind of remember what blow did you feel anything when that news came down that Fest couldn't play?
Yes, I felt hurt for you guys because we have gone. That's why we've done so well. We were ranked within the top 10 at that time in the country, and I just wanted everything to be right for all of you.
Right.
But I also knew that you guys were not going to quit and you were going to fight. We just got to have some good things that happen to us down the stretch.
Right.
The thing that really also hurt was that it was our home game supposedly, and they switched it to a neutral site
that week.
Yeah, that's that week of the game. Everything was changed, and so I just didn't want you. I was trying my best to make sure that you guys could stay focused, and I know it was very hard because all this stuff is going on, and you know how you all are. You're young. They said that they try to set us up. We don't need it. Why are we doing this to us? But we had to stay focused. We did. We played well down the stretch, and we lost within the last minute of the game. Yeah, and then we went on and won. And then we went on. Your saving grace was we went on and we won the state. But here's the funny thing about the state: seemed like everything was going wrong for us because when it's time to play the States now, we had to go over to the Eastern Shore and play every game.
Yeah, yeah.
We did not play a game in Baltimore. It was like a convention center, like a convention center where everybody played the game there, but the people on the other side of the Bay Bridge was used to going there and playing.
It was our crowd was small, traveling over there.
Traveling, yeah.
But they tell us though, Coach, since it was the 2A, we supposed to have won, which we felt as though we do supposed to win. But the journey that year to get there was something. Now
it was
going into that next year, the year that you maybe should have won Coach of the Year that year. Now that I'm thinking about it, because we didn't lose. We lost in the city championship. However, we won. We beat two national teams. We beat the team that beat us in the city championship, and we didn't lose. Other than that, we didn't lose in the city. So that could have been a Coach of the Year moment. But we can go to the next year, the year that you won a city championship. You won a state championship, right?
Right.
And you coach football. You coach us up in football.
Yeah.
Now, did you ever feel like, let me ask you this, as far as on a football tip? I know I'm jumping a little bit.
No problem.
Did you when you ain't never want to coach up there with Coach even varsity, or you was content with like, you know what, I'm all right down here. I'm okay winning championships down here.
Yeah, on the JV.
Yeah, on the JV. Because your offense.
I was fine with that. He had the people that he wanted already in position.
Okay.
And I didn't want to rock the boat. And you know, one thing, you always got to have a feeder for your next coming years. And I felt like I was a good fit for him.
Okay.
And had the kids doing what they were supposed to. And we were winning. So it was preparing the JV kids for the varsity. And I felt good about that. I had no problem about that whatsoever. All I wanted to do was whatever he wanted me to. And so, I was satisfied with that. I never squawked about it. I never had a problem with it.
Now, Coach, have you ever felt any type of political pressure coaching down Dunbar? You ever felt that?
Not political. Not. Mm-hmm. I felt pressure because when I first got there, I felt like they didn't want me there because I'm not from Baltimore. I wasn't from the Dunbar area. I wasn't from the East Side and all of that. Mm-hmm. And I just felt that way at times. But like I said, when I got there with Coach Wade, it was just fine. Everything was great. The people received me. I felt hurt when I couldn't really even come close to getting the job after Coach Wade left. Mm-hmm. And again, it was for the same reason. I said, I say to myself, if I was from around here, I could have gotten the job.
Yeah.
But I understand, and that's the political thing you were talking about. I understood it. And I went on and did what I needed to do to help myself and build my reputation up and to, again, what I'm doing right now, working with kids. I love and I enjoy working with kids. Mm-hmm. So all that made things so much better for me.
Now, Coach, because how many years did you coach up here? Because when did you leave to go back down to Carolina? That was early 2000s?
Yeah, it was 2005.
Okay.
And as my wife says to me right now, she said, I know I asked you to do something that you really didn't want to do. And that was to leave Baltimore and come home and take care of her parents. But we had promised each other that we will always take care of our parents.
Yes.
And both of my parents passed suddenly. Mm-hmm. And then her parents, in about 2003, her mom came down with dementia. And when it got to 2005, she was already been put in a home.
Okay.
And my wife wanted to go.
Yeah.
And so I told her, she told me I could stay up there and work another year or two if wanted. And I said, no, that's not what we said. We promised each other.
Right.
I was going to be there for you. So I came down in September of 2005. And I've been doing okay, but it's still tough on me even right now because I want to be up there and near you guys and some of the other coaches that are still there. I love Baltimore, but I'm happy being home. So my wife is happy being down here in the country. So then her father got, the next year after we got there, her father came down with colon cancer.
Okay. And
he had an operation. He was in his 80s then, and he had an operation. He was fine for 10 years. And then it came back, and he passed in 17.
Okay.
So we are home here in their house, taking care of it and preserving it for her brothers and sisters and whomever might be coming after us. But yes, I'm happy. I am very happy about the way things have gone.
Now,
and I owe it all to God because I still didn't want some.
Yeah, you're right. All to God. Now, now you still coaching, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. You coaching basketball and football?
Basketball and football. I started coaching football in 06. Remember, I got here in 05.
Mm-hmm.
I started coaching football in 06. And I coached, started coaching football in football in 06, basketball in 07.
Okay. In 07. And still going. Now, before I let you off head coach, do you even think about retiring from the game? Or do the game keep you going? Keep you know what I'm saying? Keep you going.
I'm gonna be honest with you, the game keeps me going. Mm-hmm. It really does. And the kids, more than the game, the kids. Because in football right now, the thing that bothers me more than anything is standing around coaching, and my legs are not as good as they used to be, so they ache a lot.
Okay.
But in basketball, I'm fine because I get a chance to sit down when games start, when the season starts, and I'm sitting down. And but I really do enjoy it, and I'm glad I have the opportunity. But before we close out of here, I wanted to tell you that in 17,
mm-hmm.
I was called by the Maryland School Football Coaches Association.
Whoa.
And they said, I've been nominated for an award.
Yeah.
And for, assistant coaching and what have you, because I was assistant coach for years.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me, would I come to University of Maryland to receive it? I said, I sure will.
Listen,
so I went up there and they presented me that award. It's the Maryland High School Football Coaches Association, and it's called the John W. Vaught Assistant Coach Award. and they put down the schools that that I was coaching and all. And I thought that was really, really nice of them and to highlight, and it made me feel like it was not in vain.
At all.
Everything that I've done was not in vain.
At all. They had the Baltimore Sun had they had like the top, I want to say like the top 50 teams, maybe top 40 from like the last 50 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you had four or five, matter of fact, I want to say five or six teams that you was assistant coach. I know I was on there twice. You was my coach twice. That was right. Two. You were on there, the national championship team. That's three. That's 2 and 3 by itself. So that's like 5. And then I think it was another Dunbar team. However, you was a part. So you were a part of history. You know what I'm saying? You was a part of history. That's why I'm so excited to even do this interview. But coach.
Well, I thank you so much, man. I really do. I thank you for thinking about me enough just to include me in something that you're doing like this. And I really appreciate it. I'm telling you. I'm took a pink down here when I hear about the things that you are doing, mm-hmm. because I do hear about them. And then you called me one day and I couldn't believe it. I said, man, what's up? And you started talking and you were telling me what you were doing. And I'm just as proud. I'm so proud of you, man. I just want you to continue because you're doing a good thing. You're doing a good work. And just keep working hard. And again, I always say, keep your hand in God's hand and you're going to be fine.
I will, Coach. I definitely will.
I know.
I definitely will. Listen, y'all.
Now, let me ask you this quick question before you leave.
Mm-hmm.
How are the Macmillians?
Oh, they fine. They fine. My father, a school teacher over at Weston. Maybe Weston O'Brien. I think I want to say Weston. Okay. Yeah. My Uncle Kev, he still drives the trucks. He owns his own business now. Looking for drivers with 2 years experience. Yeah.
Sometimes he calls me when I'm on the road. I'm on the road, Coach, but I got to call you.
Yeah.
I wish you this. I wish you that. He's good. How about Tim?
Man, Tim doing good too. Tim worked with kids. He just started up his PRP program. He's still trying to get that off the ground. And my Uncle Kirk is a detective, a Baltimore City detective. So
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
They're gonna be happy to hear this. Well, Coach, I'm gonna ask you one more favor, right? One more favor.
No problem.
And this for the future. This may be a little bit in the future, right? Okay. Like I talked to Coach Barnes again, and hopefully I'm trying to get in contact with Coach Wade so I can have all y'all on the platform. Do you know how to work Zoom? Do you not work with Zoom?
No, I've never done Zoom.
Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah,
but I haven't done Zoom. My family is trying to get me to do some Zoom stuff, and I told them I'm all right. But yeah, you work on it, and if we can get that together, I'll be happy to participate.
Appreciate it. Y'all, we coming live from TEDS TV. Again, I'm honored. I'm honored to have the privilege to interview my coach and plenty more of y'all. I got you right now. We on live too right now, Coach. And Calvin and Jamal is in the inbox, and they saying they love you. Keep pushing.
Thank you.
And you can come back. We'll see you again. We'll see you again.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you, good people.